friends, welcome to our third ever virtual concert. Tonight we have musical guest Thanya Iyer, super excited. We also have a mental health discussion in store. We are putting on these concerts because every year we rethink our suicide awareness and prevention campaign called Stay. And this year it's all about music and how music brings hope and music inspires others. We also wanted to bring in a mental health discussion because a lot of times the musicians behind the songs that we feel so drawn and connected to have also experienced the ups and downs of being human. And it's really cool to get to see the human in them through these conversations. I also want to thank Sounds of Saving. They're our nonprofit partner this month, and it's been incredible to work with them. They focus on how music brings hope and music inspires, and they work with musicians like Thanya to captivate audiences and prevent suicide. And this month being Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month, we wanted to bring you a virtual concert since COVID has taken in-person concerts from us. So we hope you enjoy. Here's Thanya.
I woke up in the water. I woke up with my love hanging by thread. I saw us for the first time. I saw it was the end. No more water drying out. No more sunlight, the world's getting darker. Love is lost in blurry seas. for you and me for me. We're too far away, far away, far away, far. Hi everyone, I am Thanya and this is Bumpy and we're so happy to be here. Thank you to Sound of Saving and Only Human for putting this together. Thanks for everyone for joining. This song is called I Forget to Drink Water, Balance. This balance is tilted. I can't seem to stand still. I wish I could see straight, see the shape of my hunger, see it tumble and tangle and tangled in my words. I just wanna feel still. I just wanna feel still. Find me some passion in the passion fruit forest. Take a walk on the night cloud where you'll find all your answers. I get lost in the daytime when I'm running on your salty eyes. I know you want me to see. I just want to be something else. Maybe this is not for me. Thanks, everyone. Cool. Hi, Jillian.
Hi, Thanya. Hi, Pompey.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. How are you two?
We're doing good.
I'm doing so much better now that I've listened to two of your beautiful songs. Thank you both so much for being here and for sharing your incredible music with us, with everyone participating this evening. It's really appreciate you sharing this and engaging in this discussion together.
Thank you. It's so good to be here.
I feel like when I listen to your music, it's like you just scoop me up and take me on this journey. I'm just like, okay, and it's so cathartic. What's it like for you to perform your music?
It kind of, when we play together, it's like we're kind of creating a little bit of a universe into like the music, the textures, the sounds, and the lyrics, and what, they're all snapshots from different times in my life. So yeah, you kind of like, it feels like we're immersing ourselves, at least for me, into that emotion and into that space.
It's so interesting because I feel like when I listen to your album, like one song will feel like you're in a forest, and then the next time you'll feel like you're swimming. And that's particularly nice now when we can't travel so much, but you really feel like you're in that experience. So do you take things from your life and then put it into the music, or do you just create the music and it just sort of comes out as this very sort of organic expression?
Well, we do a lot of improvising together as a band. And so I feel like that expression is kind of like a mirror of the music, but I usually bring songs to the group that are, from parts in my life, and the music and the words, they kind of just come together. Like I write them at the same time, usually, or I'm just like improvising musically for a little bit and then kind of see if I land on something that feels good. And
It's always so interesting to hear about the creative experience. And when the first time I listened to your album, there was a song I was like, ooh, I really like this song. I was like, this literally feels like I'm walking through a park in a city and the sunlight is coming through the trees and it's dappling on the ground. And I'm thinking about things. I was like, what's the name of this song? And it was Look Up to the Light. And I was like, this is exactly what it sounds like it's happening here. I just think it shows so much the healing power of music and how it can, take you on these cathartic journeys. How do you relate to music in terms of its healing power?
Yeah, I think one, that's a beautiful picture that you just described. So thanks for sharing that. I think it's like songwriting has always been a tool for just like processing and just working through different internal conflicts for me, that we all go through. And it's so therapeutic to just create art from that in different ways, and improvising. It just, it's such a release. It feels like such a release. Mm-hmm.
I feel like some of your songs, if I could put the most effective therapy sessions I do and turn it into music, it would be like one of your songs, or, or anytime we're processing emotion, because there's sometimes a lot happening in the songs, but it's never chaotic and it's never cacophonous. There's always just a through line and it's always progressing to some sort of resolution. Do you feel that in the arc of your music, whether when you're playing or other music that you like listening to?
Yeah, I mean, when I wrote the songs on the album that we just released, it kind of, in my head, I'm just like, yeah, this is a journey of just like things are bad and then they become good. But then we were talking in the car one day and just realized that, oh, like actually it's not like that. Like the album is about love and self-love and just uh, healing, and it's not so clear cut. It's a journey. It's like there's you end up feeling kind of heavy at the end. Like any kind of healing is tough, and yeah. So I think that's kind of what it felt like to write the songs and to come out of it.
I really appreciate you using that word heavy, because as you do move things and process them, as you said at the end, there is this release. There is this feeling of like, whew, I just did a lot of work. But it's that sort of feeling of like the good work and the release that gets to come at the end of it.
It's a huge release, and like it's kind of like you're exploring. When you're improvising, or when I like kind of am playing things on the piano, like it is an exploration until you land on something that brings you just like, yes, into a place deeper where you can understand something that you've been going through, or like yeah. So yeah, I feel that release after definitely writing a song.
I love that image of, right, just playing around and that hitting on something, and you can feel it like almost resonate within you when you hit on just the right thing. And I feel like that same way is that emotional exploration where you're sort of looking around. And if you don't appreciate that process, and how you can find a gem within there, then you might not go through it. But I think it's amazing that, the ways that parallels, like doing that process maybe gives you confidence for doing that in music, and having those successful experiences of, yes, this is it. And even as you talk about the two of you in the car talking about how it all, came together and what it feels like, gives you the confidence to bring that same spirit to other challenges in your life.
Definitely.
How do you feel like being a musician has helped you in other areas of your life?
I think just like musicians are great. You learn so much just like working with people, and just so many different kinds of people you get to meet, and so many good people, good humans, right? And you learn so much. There's so much like administrative stuff too, if we're gonna like talk about some boring stuff that you have to do to just like make things float and keep things moving and spinning. So I just feel like it gives you so many skills to just like be with people, and just yeah, start a project, plan something, and like dream something really cool, and then things happen. It's like you create something from nothing, and that's a really beautiful thing, that like we put all these things together. So I love what it has given me in life.
Speaking of being with other people, the artistic process is so interesting because there's parts of it that are so solo or with just a couple of other people, and you create something. And then there's the part where the artist shares their work, whether it's the written work or music or art or photography, with other people. And that's an important part of the experience as well. So what is it like for you? How does your music shift once you're able to, in times when you can perform it for a live audience? How does that interaction with the audience shift your experience with the music?
Oh, there's nothing like that feeling. It's kind of nice. It's cool to see like the comments come up right now, and it feels like that's something that we never get live. We do feel like so many people's energies, and it's really like a sharing and a giving, and like it yeah, it feels, yeah, there's nothing like it. I miss it so much. It's really special, and it's like kind of, even like when we were supposed to have an album launch, and of course that didn't happen, and there was like this hole that was left with like the celebration, because so many people had come together to make the album and make it happen. And so I hope that we get to do it one day. I'm sure we will. But yeah, it's like, it's a celebration, and it's like in life, it's so good to like remember to celebrate yourself and celebrate the people around you in your community. Yeah, yeah, I miss that. But we still get it a little bit through things like this. So cool. We don't often get to do this like in a live show, like talk and like connect like this. So that's really awesome.
How else has this time, been new and it maybe expanded your virtual interaction with friends, or been novel in terms of its perhaps inspiring creativity in some ways?
Yeah, I mean, this time has been full of highs and lows, right? So much like there's not really anywhere to go when you're dealing with things internally, except your house. You can't get that busy except unless it's on like Zoom or something like that. So yeah, it's like it's like I feel like I've been like not forced, but just like put in this space where I like have to just like meet all of those things in myself that maybe aren't so easy to meet and to make space for. And I think that like I feel like really lucky to have had the space to do that, and that we're healthy. And like I know there's also so much loss, and it's like a huge like grieving process that everyone is going through right now. So much has been lost. So um, I think dealing with that too, and it can even I know for me at the beginning it was triggering like other forms of loss and grief that I experienced, because it was another sense of that. So yeah, it's been a hard time, but it's also I'm so grateful for all of the positive things that have happened in this time, like new realizations and just new um, connections in like this, where yeah, it's really cool.
I really appreciate that you bring up how this time is challenging on its own. It's bringing up new things for people, but then it's also doubling down on other things from the past, just familiar themes coming back around. And we know that about traumas, things become even more traumatic when it's a variation on a theme from the past. And even if we think that we've resolved that theme or worked on it, sometimes times like this can just bring it roaring back to the surface. And it can be difficult, especially since everyone's going through it, and the normal outlets that we would turn to for that comfort, particularly the socialization and being with each other. I know for me, I go to a lot of live music, and it's so fun and relaxing and really a mood shifter. And then to have those things taken away are a challenge. And I love this word you meet, that then it requires you to meet parts of yourself that before you could maybe say, okay, and just keep going, but now it's requiring you to sit down. And the upside being, as you're saying, maybe come up with, have some new conversations with yourself, come up with some new skills that can work long term. But there's just a lot going on for everybody right now.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like at the beginning of the quarantine, I saw a question in the chat that was like, has the COVID quarantine pushed you to create an outlet of musical creativity? And I think like, yes, definitely. But maybe it started in this place of just like, oh my God, like my schedule is completely gone now. And so I made this like really like almost rigid, like it was just like wake up, meditate, free write a song, like do like all of these things. And I realized that it was also kind of a coping mechanism too, but it was so great to like finally have space to just like do that. I like really appreciate that time so much. And I felt like most of my songs became like more about like mindfulness and just like diving deeper into those like struggles and also like realizations that we maybe all have experienced on some level during this time. So yeah, definitely it's also been a creative time.
I always wonder about musicians too, because of course your instruments make sounds, and you might be in smaller spaces or an apartment building where you now can't so easily rehearse if you can't go to other spaces. So where do you usually write and practice music, and has that shifted during this time?
Well, this is me and Alex. We just moved into this apartment, and luckily, the neighbors love music. And so there's a
Nice.
there's a piano there, and it's just, yeah, it's so great to be here. And this is like our shared desk, and like I usually work on this side, or at least we're trying to. And then Alex has this like whole setup on this side, and he's just always creating and making. He's released like 10 EPs under his name Pompey. It's like probably he's very prolific, and I think loved having that space.
That's awesome. Congratulations on the new space.
Thanks.
I feel like one of the biggest things that people are grappling with during this time is all the uncertainty and just the ongoing uncertainty.
Yeah.
How have you grappled with that uncertainty?
Yeah, it's like it was hard, but I think like at first I was like, oh no, like we got to postpone this and postpone that. Like I was planning like 3 tours over the summer and like the album launch. Um, and then I just like stopped planning things and was just like, I'm canceling everything. We'll do everything. It's going to be fine. But there was definitely a lot of anxiety around that. And I think like in my life, I haven't always known like what I want to do and where I want to go. And it's been like interesting, like the journey of just coming and deciding to pursue music as a career. And I'd always kind of like put that, like, oh, I'll decide what I'm going to do in life later. And so this feels kind of a little similar to that, or at least this time where I'm just like, oh, yeah, it's going to happen. Like, I won't worry about it right now. But I actually made this really last minute decision. I was talking to Alex, and he was just like, I don't know, because I was just kind of getting bored, and I was just like, I don't know, like, I'm so confused. And he was just like, why don't you go back to school? And then I just like emailed, I had taken this music therapy course a year before, and I had just emailed the teacher, and I was like, hey, like, can I go back to school? And then it was like 4 months after the deadline, but they were like, yeah, apply. And then I applied and got in. So now I started school in music therapy, and it's been so fun to just like explore this part of myself that um, loves that using music as a just tool for connection and for like just seeing like how it can be like such a healing source in so many different ways. So that's how I've coped, just like made really random last minute decisions. And then yeah.
Congratulations. This is such an exciting next step for you, and what a cool way to take your passion and then move it into a different sphere. And you're already helping people, but to help people in a slightly different way. How do you anticipate that you as a musician will change? I know you've only just started school, but going into the music therapy world, and how do you hope to be able to use yourself as a musician in music therapy?
It's still so early, and I'm so not sure where it'll take me. So I'm just kind of like keeping my arms open and just seeing what falls into my lap. But I I kind of like I've always worked with youth and like done songwriting and taught my students. I have students who are really great, and done different artist residencies where I get to like make albums with youth, and it's been so wonderful to use songwriting in a therapeutic way already to talk about. Yeah, in the same way, kind of that it's helped me. I see like so much that it just like opens up this world and in the different students that I work with. So I hope that it'll help me like get stronger in that, and I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and just like keep exploring the new things out there.
Mm-hmm. And it's wonderful that as a musician, I mean, you play different instruments, you write lyrics, you sing, you put together these very creative music videos along with it. How do each of those pieces fit into your creative puzzle?
It feels like they all just are all a mess and they all kind of happen together. I know I used to be really like, oh no, like how am I gonna have time to like practice the violin and like get really good at piano and just like learn something completely new. And I think I just like gravitate towards like song kind of encompasses everything. And there are phases too. There's phases of just like, I want to work more on this or I want to work more on this. And that's like super helpful to see that it's just like everything just like cumulatively comes together at the end. Yeah.
And you're talking about it in terms of, the pandemic, sort of, having you take this pause moment to realize like, what do I want to do? Where do I want to head? And throughout your music, you talk about this idea of thinking that you know yourself and then suddenly feeling like you don't. For people out there who are having that feeling, like they suddenly feel like they don't know themselves so well, do you have any guidance or advice?
Really like hard to like come to realizations like that shake you and that move you off your grounding. And I think like just like I don't know, I know it's like people say time helps, but also like I think accepting where we're at, where we in the moment, just being like, okay, this is like this now, and there's nothing that, well, it's not like there's, I don't know, it's a hard question. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I think kind of just like accepting where we're at and just like making space to feel not so great and giving ourselves like being kind to ourselves, giving ourselves lots of space and room to just like feel those emotions and not push them away. I know I do that sometimes where I'm just like, I should feel like this or I should do that. And it's just like, what do I actually feel? And just like, let me just feel all those things without thinking it's wrong or thinking it's bad. And just, yeah, I think that's a way.
I love that in terms of, the acceptance and then adapting. And I hear so much hope in you in terms of, there will be a time when things shift and, we can go back to being live and, but in the meantime, see what we can find in here. And I think, what I've seen a lot of people, unfortunately, with the uncertainty and the lack of planning, a lot of people have stopped daydreaming. And I know in your music, there's a lot about daydreaming and how that brings you to self-discovery. And I feel like you help us through the music just go back and daydream, and suddenly again we're walking through that forest and our mind can travel in places, and I think that gives a lot of hope and a lot of healing. So I really appreciate you both and everything that you're doing with this music.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Jillian.
It's been so nice to talk to you. Thank you so much, and I know we will now let you get back to that beautiful music.
Cool. Thanks, Jillian. It was so great to chat. We'll play 2 more songs. Thanks everyone for being here. I just wanna freely slow, so I remember you. used to travel Did I understand the world? Now I finally see the truth. Why does that energy go? Why does that energy No more will I hold on to you, so I let go, let it go, let go. No more will I hold on to you, so I let go, let it go, let go. Bring back that which is kind to you, so I let go, let it go. What do we need? What do we need? What do we need? Pompey on the bass. Thanks, everyone. Thanks so much. Thanks, Jillian.
Hey humans, on a final note, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you to Thanya and Jillian and Sounds of Saving for helping us put on this event. Literally couldn't have done it without you. And finally, we have one last concert this month. It's with Obadiah Parker, and it's the same time next Thursday, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. We hope you can be there. Until next time.